What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out the brand new Altergiest Link Monster coming out in Flames of Destruction. A little bit of irony here, isn't there? I just made a video talking about why Altergiest is like one of my favorite decks in the game now, and boom, Konami reveals a new Link Monster. This isn't much of a shock to you if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, the anime, and I know what's going on in the anime, so I fully expected this. I know that Emma is dueling against Revolver. For those of you guys who don't watch the anime, Emma is the girl who plays Altergiest. So with her being in the anime, I expected us to see new cards. If you guys don't know how anime decks work, basically, if your character has just had a duel or they're about to duel, you can expect to see new cards for that archetype in a new booster set. Like it's basically the reason why you didn't see any Goki cards in Extreme Force, because Go wasn't actually on the anime for a little while, and then he came back, and then boom, he has a new duel. He shows off a bunch of new cards, and then they put those cards in a new booster set. So let's go ahead and check out Altergiest Kidolga. So she requires 2 Altergeist monsters to summon, just like Altergeist Hextia, the other Link 2 monster. Her effect reads, when another Altergeist monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to a zone this card points to, but it cannot attack except a turn that this card declared an attack. When I actually read that, I didn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, that is so incredible. Like, the ceiling on this effect is absolutely absurd. For starters, that is not a hard once per turn. Some people might say, well, Cap, is it really that relevant considering the link points? It could be. Think about this, right? What if I activate the effect and I say, give me your Borolo Dragon from your graveyard, and you decide to bottomless chop all the Borolo Dragon? Okay, well, later in the turn, I can like steal another one of your monsters or something like that, as long as I continue to do battle damage. And even though Altergeist don't have a lot of monsters with great stats, and that's why they needed an effect like this, an effect that, you know, can potentially do a ton of damage, they do have a monster called Altergeist Miluseek. It can attack directly for 500. When it does battle damage, it sends one of your opponent's cards to the graveyard, and that is not destroying, by the way. So it's a really good way not only to do damage and activate Kidolga's effect, but then removal as well. So in that turn, you might be able to do a ton of damage. And what I really like about it is the monster that I take from your graveyard, it has no restrictions on it. It doesn't say that I can't attack with it. I can attack with it. I can use that monster's effects. I can do whatever the hell I want. And then I started thinking about link monsters, right? Like, what if I take one of your link monsters like Firewall Dragon, and then it's instantly like mutual linked? I can do so many plays with that. Now, the fact that Kidolga doesn't allow the other monster to attack unless Kidolga attacks can be mildly annoying. Like, if your opponent has 3 monsters on the board and you summon Miluseek and you blow one of the monsters up and you attack and you activate Kidolga's effect and you take, I don't know, a Kaiju or something like that, that Kaiju can't attack unless Kidolga runs into one of those monsters. I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, that is a bit of a downside, but I'm not going to complain about getting a free monster from your graveyard. You're just not going to hear me cry about that, because I'm making massive advantage just off that anyways. Second effect is a little watered down from the other Altergeist Link monsters. It is very similar. It says, if this card is destroyed by battle, you can target 1 Altergeist card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. If you guys don't know, Altergeist Hextia has an effect just like this, except it's way better, because Hextia says that anytime Hextia leaves the field, like by any means, she gets to tutor any Altergeist card from your deck, and you just add it to your hand. It means that you can't use this card for protocol and then activate the effect. I really wish that this card was anytime it went to the graveyard, because then you contribute it for protocol and you'd be able to just, you know, get a card back from the graveyard. I think that they thought that that would be a little too strong. Overall, I like this card. I think it's a 1-of in the deck, and I'm probably just going to drop Prime Banshee and just play Hextia and play Kidolga, because this card has a very good upside in the mid to late game where Hextia isn't all that strong. Hextia really shines in like the early game, getting her on board really early, negating your opponent's spells and traps. Then maybe you can bust out Kidolga. You can start taking their monsters once they have a decent amount in their graveyard, beating them down with their own stuff. And then again, if you take one of their link monsters, I think it could actually just be insane when you start linking them up or opening up more zones for your field. Even though Altergeist isn't, you know, nearly like a hyperlink deck, that can still obviously be effective. So whatever you guys think of Altergeist Kidolga, leave it in the comment section below. I know there's going to be a bunch of people spoiling Reigns, saying, oh, Cap G, Ghost Girl got blown out by Revolver. I'm saying that I like her archetype. I have no idea about her personality or anything like that. I'm not even sure if I like Emma as a character. I just know I like her deck. So yeah, thank you guys for watching as always.